That is the sound of what is amplified into my room. It is third-party activity. The state is amplifying the sound, though, such that it is louder. And it is also moving, and it is audibly perceived moving, sounding at different locations. That's the use of amplification. And that is the unnatural behavior of sound. That's because it is being amplified. They're using mechanisms to increase the audible impact of activity that's third party. They are using that form of activity, mirroring me. So as I make any abrupt move, that booming music immediately starts. After pausing, they restart it. It is increased in volume, decreased in volume as I engage in activity on my communication devices, moving in and out of where I was by the microwave. And as I make abrupt movements, it's the same mirroring conduct. Those are third parties creating activity. This is inside of the room at MAYFAIR Inn. Previously reported twice to the front office. They are a third party. MAYFAIR Inn is a third party. This is a facilitating venue of the state's criminal system. This is P.O.C. that I am documenting. All conduct of patrons, employees, even loiterers, people who are not actually even staying here, are merely here to engage in criminal conduct with the state. That is conduct attributed to MAYFAIR, the third party, as its status as a facilitating venue. I am being subject to targeting, criminal monitoring, invasion of privacy while on these grounds, and that's the significance of third party conduct, and that which this third-party venue facilitates on its property, and that is attributed to the state. That is that which is, again, concentrated underneath my room. Now the floor reverberating, that's vibration. Just like last night as I tweeted, I put it on social media, the incessant earthquakes. It was shaking all night long in the room. This is mere activity. It is the exact same conduct, and that's my point. These are merely different methods that I'm showing how the state of California engages in criminal monitoring. They are doing so, as I'm documenting now, just by merely creating noise. And it is stalking by noise. That's what it is. It is stalking by light. That's what this system is. And it is stalking by group stalking. And that is the state and third parties, the people of California together, engaging in stalking in all manners. Stalking by activity, stalking by light, and stalking by their presence while they use communication devices to monitor. It's 11:17 p.m. Again, the longevity of this activity, speaking to P.O.C, occurring since I documented the video of the fake sun, of the amplified sound of traffic outside, of the ILA on the window showing the fake sun at the north end of HOLT versus it being over the Social Security building. That was 7:30 p.m. It is 11:18 p.m. That pure passage of time, speaking of P.O.C. The fact of the actual venue, we are at a motel. This is a place of quote-unquote business. This is P.O.C. Where this conduct is going on unaltered, where you have an alleged quote-unquote security guard. This is all P.O.C. I am just showing, this is just getting through common sense factual details, the ways in which the conduct is not even aligned to that which is ordinarily to be engaged in. It is abnormal. It is that which is engaged in for a criminal purpose, and it is that which is inappropriate, even in its attempted form. The form is just creating a whole bunch of noise. This is demonic activity, by the way, that I'm just providing additional context. It is demonic activity. That is of Satan. That's of the devil, to have chaos, to have clamor, to have noise, to have disruption. That is of the devil himself. And you are literally witnessing being made privy to documentation of Satan and his minions, and these are the ways that they operate. This is a satanic system. This is that which a government is operating. That speaks volumes about this government. I'm going to leave that there. Let the facts speak for themselves, because it is what it is. And you've got the government operating with the people of California, okay? This speaks volumes about everything that I am documenting. And that is the spiritual reality of this, all right? But we could stick to the facts. I'm just going to give you some common sense, though. That's straight out of hell. What I'm documenting, that's demonic conduct. This is demonic, okay? Wanting to be surrounded by that, which is always creeping, surrounding, watching, obsessive. That's stalkers. I mean, we've got statutory language to describe it, but that is straight out of hell. And this system, these people, the government, are engaged in that obsessive conduct together as a group with all manner of their behavior, their conduct, and the instruments that they use to operate the system. Everything has that same character. Anyway, that was the amplified sound of activity. All noise, it is activity. That is a clinical term. And so that's how you're getting down to elements: light, activity, and relevant positioning. Relevant positioning is perpetual presence. That's the group stalking. That's the government and third parties. Light, it's perpetually present. They stalk with light day and night. Okay. And the activity, I am showing the ways in which they engage in ceaseless activity. You've got the government and third parties alike engaging in. This is the operation of the system in a ceaseless manner. You are seeing the ways in which minions engage in that stalking conduct. Excuse me, it is 11:21 p.m. And so as my videos, which I will be uploading, document, I mean, from the time that I literally made the phone call to the office, captured a video of P.O.C. From that time, they have been engaging in this additional method. It's the same conduct, though. So you are always looking at not the method, you're looking at the substance. What is it? It is activity. It is P.O.C. It is August 12th, 2020, and it is 11:21. That is the sound of an alarm of a vehicle. What did I do? I touched my phone screen right now, and that car alarm went off with simultaneity. That is stalking with activity, mirroring my movement, ongoing conduct. It is the same character of conduct. It is the same use of the same tactics over and over again, and that's what that is. That's called mirroring. That's what I'm referring to when I am speaking to that. Stalking by noise. Everything that you do is mirrored, is followed, is punctuated with activity, and that activity serves a purpose of monitoring. So monitoring at everything that you're, every move you make, everything that you do, surrounding you with noise, surrounding you with activity, with a criminal purpose of monitoring. And that's what that is. The same thing was captured in my video as I closed the door of my room and a third party honks a horn. That is the sound of audible activity as I engaged in operation of my communication device going inside of my room. That is the same conduct. I captured the same activity as I left my room, I believe the day before yesterday, which would have been August 10th, when I captured a third-party employee creating noise in 227, hitting the wall incessantly as she is engaged in form of cleaning the room. She is creating audible activity under the fake sun in relevant position with a communication device. She's engaged in P.O.C. It's the exact same elements. What you heard, though, as I exited my room was the sound of a boom. A third party making noise as I engaged in movement and activity. This is what third parties do. All of my documentation is showing the same behavioral patterns over and over again. And that is all that is. It is 11:23, and this is just to note the ongoing use of this form of activity, causing a substantial disruption at a place of business, supposedly, where I am a patron at MAYFAIR Inn, a third-party facilitating venue. And this is that which is attributed to that third party occurring for the purpose of this criminal system. It is the same element in concert with the same government that is in operation of a ceaseless system. That is P.O.C. This is Erica calling from 228. I was informed that you told Cynthia, the program, she's like the program worker under which I'm staying here. She's paying for the stay, that I had to leave because of some reason, which I did not hear from you. So I just wanted to learn from you. What is it that you're claiming that I committed and why you... I understand that. I was told that was because Cynthia has already communicated to me a week prior that I was staying, so it wasn't a voucher issue. What Cynthia told me about, Cynthia told me that you stated harassment as the reason that I needed to leave. What's to the right? What one would that be? You don't know the room number of the person that reported harassment? Oh, okay. Well, I get that, but it's become an issue for me because that is a matter of defamation. Anybody can come up and literally lie, basically, about being harassed, if that's what you're saying, some third party told you, when nobody said anything to me about harassment. And I report basically every other day that I'm being harassed by people beating the walls from both 129 and 127. And so I find it very ironic and interesting that upon nobody even addressing me about alleged harassment, that was cited as a reason that I had to leave. That's not what Cynthia stated about the expired voucher. Cynthia expressed that she was fully interested in keeping me here, that I was not able to stay here because Mayfair Inn claimed that I engaged in harassing a patron, which is not true. But I just want to get your statement because what I know is that I am the one that reported 229 about beating on the walls, about blasting their music after 11 o'clock, which they continued at 4 o'clock in the morning and hitting the walls. And that is the time when I did document what they were engaged in, which I have proof of. There is no proof of me ever harassing anyone. There is proof of me calling every day about people hitting my walls. And I don't see how that is harassment. And it is totally not commensurate with what I have been experiencing the entire time I've been here, which is harassment. That's all I'm saying. And so me going is not an issue. I'm not going to stay in your room. But I just want to be clear. Cynthia, the program social worker, told me that I was staying here for another 2 weeks, over a week ago. So the person paying for the voucher is the one that should have been communicated with because she stated she was fully willing to do that. She stated the only reason why she was not was because of some alleged harassment. That is what I was told. I don't know. Okay, listen, I'm not paying for it, obviously. It's a voucher that you guys are provided to keep me here. I want to be clear the reason for which I am being being forced to leave based on some voucher that they don't want to pay for is one thing. Being forced to leave because of some defamation, some lies stating that I'm harassing people is another thing. And so I just want to get it officially stated. If you're saying I'm harassing someone, I want to know who, I want to know when, because nobody told me anything about it. And to be honest with you, Miss Nisha, you could have told me about it when you came to my door this morning talking about the voucher. Okay. Oh, I understand. So you're stating that she called you. She told me that you called her on the other line, and that's why I was on hold?
Right now?
Nope. Earlier this morning when she clicked back on the phone and said that she was told I harassed someone and I needed to go to a different place.
No, I just reported whatever had happened last night to her. That's all I did. Because I think I wasn't working here last night.
I know you weren't. I reported to Gabby to ask 229 to turn down their music at 11:45 p.m.
Okay, so I'm just letting you know because the client then felt like they were being harassed. So that's all. I have to report this stuff to her. So that's all it was. It wasn't anything personal or anything like that. I just have to lie to them.
Is your job... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, if they report to me, then I have to let her know.
Okay, and so are you letting her know all the times that I am also calling pretty much on an almost daily basis about people hitting my walls and about the substantial noise level?
That one I wasn't here for. So
Right, you weren't here for last night either, though, but you reported that to her, and it was a basis for me moving.
I'm not here all the time. So whatever gets put in my lap is kind of what I handle. So I'm not sure what the other ones is like. I'm really not sure.
Right, and I just want to be clear, last night you weren't here either, though, but you reported that to Cynthia, right? Some allegation of harassment.
I wasn't here. I let her know I wasn't here.
Okay, and prior to today, I have continued, basically since I've been here, every day somebody hitting on my walls on both sides, which is harassment. That's the same conduct I was accused of, right?
I don't remember everything verbatim, but
Harassment is a pretty weighty thing, and to put a homeless person out of your room, out of your premises based on that, I would think that you guys would understand who made the claim and why it's being claimed as harassment. That's a legal term.
okay, again, this is just the words of the people that were staying there. These are not my words. These are the
Okay, so who is it that wants me to leave Mayfair because of harassment?
Give me 1 second. I have somebody at the door. Give me 1 second.
Sure, go ahead. Yes. I was just wondering who is it that wants me to leave the premises because of harassment, because that's what Cynthia told me.
It would be Cynthia because so the voucher was over, and then I just let her know what happened, and then so I thought she was moving you somewhere.
No, so basically what I'm being told from her is that it was you guys, Mayfair, that wants me to leave, and now you, Mayfair, are telling me that it's Cynthia that wants me to leave, basically.
I mean, you can talk with the managers. Maybe I don't know if that's what if they communicated with her. I'm not really
I
sure.
thought you said you're the one that told her. Who told?
I told her, but I don't know if with the managers if she talked to them or what.
Okay, so it was elevated from what a guest said based on their pure words, and it was elevated to the manager?
I'm honestly not sure.
You don't know.
No.
Okay. But I'm being forced to, per Cynthia, the one who's paying for the voucher to stay here, that I have to leave because that's what she said verbatim, based on harassment.
So again, the main reason you have to leave is just because the voucher is up. And the voucher is finished and you finished it.
Right.
So therefore, there's no one can do it.
Understood. And she is stating the reason why she's not extending it is because she was not allowed to because Mayfair wants me to leave.
Well, I mean, you can talk with the managers. They'll be here on Saturday if you want, but
Right. I'm sure, as you know, that wouldn't be helpful today, Thursday, August 13th, when I'm talking about leaving the room today.
yeah, but I mean, it seems like you need a higher up than me. That's why.
Not necessarily. I just want to get what you're stating. You're the one that's there. If management is not here, then you are the one that communicated to her this morning about harassment and stating that I needed to leave.
Yeah, so management, I'm sure, just said, like, if the other clients are complaining about harassment, then we probably, I'm not sure exactly what they said, but again, the main reason you're leaving is just because the voucher is over.
Okay. And I don't mean to go around in circles with you, but I'm just saying you're talking about last night a complaint about harassment. What other patrons are talking about harassment to the manager such that I have to be removed? You're talking about last night. So when would when management be involved in requiring my removal? Do you understand how that time constraint does not jive with what you're saying? You're the one that communicated it. You're the one that's basing it on what was told to you allegedly last night. You're the one that Cynthia told me called her and told her that I had to leave because she had intentions of renewing my voucher.
Again, so I'm just going off of what the girl last night told me, and I'm sure the girl last night also, she talked to the manager.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, once the manager has made a decision, there's nothing we can do about it.
Right. And so why would the manager not talk to the person that's engaging in harassment?
Because they weren't here last night.
How did they talk to the manager then?
They called the manager.
Oh, they called the manager. Where's the manager's phone number?
The desk clerk, the one last night, she has a manager's number.
Oh, okay. So she called the manager after 12. It was 1 o'clock in the morning?
I'm not sure when she called.
4 o'clock in the morning?
I'm not sure
But,
when she called them because they
oh,
weren't here.
it would have been that time frame. If she's talking about I engaged in harassment in the ways that,
I don't even know like what time all this happened.
yeah, I reported 11:45 to Gabby that they were blasting music. After 11:45, they continued engaging in blasting the music and hitting the walls. You're talking about 4 o'clock in the morning, still playing their music after they hit the wall. And my using my phone, which is not harassment either, which was at 1 o'clock in the morning. So you're talking about these acts, which are not harassment, which is well into the late night, early morning. And if you're saying that they contacted the manager at that hour, that would be very interesting as well. Okay, but I just want to be clear about what you're saying versus what Cynthia is saying. And the only reason why is because you're talking about defamation of my character when you talk about harassment. If you're talking about a voucher, that's something else, whatever. But the harassment angle, and you're talking about the actual conduct that was engaged in, when I am calling almost every day about the same thing and nobody's kicked out for harassment on my behalf. Every day. Doing that, which they're claiming I did, and harassing them. That's all. That's just the irony of it. That's all I wanted to get to. And all I'm saying, Ms. Nisha, is that was not communicated to me when you came to the door this morning, speaking about a voucher that I did not pay for. Cynthia paid for. Cynthia was ignorant about any harassment, ignorant about having to pay for the voucher after communicating to me that she had intentions of me staying here over a week ago. So she would be the one that would handle that in the first place. But I will leave that there. Thank you. All right.
But I think they're basing back on the voucher so that there can be no more conflict.
Okay.
I wouldn't make up these stories. I wouldn't falsely allege this to get you to leave without wanting to help you. Remember that.
All right. All I'm saying is
I think I've shown you that I'm interested in helping you. I think I've shown you that.
That's not what that means.
We've met. And I believe that you saw that I am sincere and I am true.
I'm just going off of
you
your...
You've known me for a long time, but you can see that. So this is a business. This motel is a business.
Right.
And I think that's the avenue they're taking because they don't want to fight with you. They don't want conflict. Okay?
Okay. The thing about it, though, is what you are saying... What you are saying, speaking on behalf of a third party, MAYFAIR, is in contradiction to what the employee just told me. And contrary to what you're saying, there is no fight when I'm... That's not... Okay, now you're not listening to me, Cynthia.
I'm ending the call.
Of course you are. Of course you are. That is a third party engaging in that same P.O.C. of not wanting to hear how their argument is weak. As I documented, you have MAYFAIR clearly communicating the fact that they are relying on, contrary to what Cynthia represents, that I have to leave the room on the basis of the voucher, which Cynthia with the program pays for the voucher. Cynthia communicated, as I've already tweeted this on social media, and I have consistently been documenting day by day P.O.C. And the transpiring of events. And so this is just a wrap up, just showing how third parties and their own mixed messages conflict with one another. You have Cynthia, the program worker, speaking for and contradicting what the woman that works at MAYFAIR just stated. These are third parties, mind you. Nisha just communicated reliance on the voucher needing to be paid, whereas Cynthia is saying, oh, no, I don't think it's that. I really just think it's because of a thing where they don't want conflict, and there was no conflict. I have a right to find out about false allegations about harassment. That is not a matter of conflict. That's a matter of finding out who was lying about illegal conduct that I am not engaged in. And so for me to find that information out, for me to find out after having no incident of any of that, after Nisha did not address it to me, that is not that which is a matter of avoiding conflict, as Cynthia is stating. This is evasive conduct that Cynthia is engaged in. This is seeking to avoid being pretty much called to the carpet on the contradictory statements that she's making. You have a third party, Cynthia, who called me today stating that she received a call today as I was on the phone with her from MAYFAIR, Nisha, the employee, about my having to be removed from the room because of harassment. And then when I call MAYFAIR, you have Nisha stumbling the entire time on the phone call, claiming that it is premised on the payment of the voucher, and stating that stating to Nisha that Cynthia allegedly represented an intention to have me stay here at MAYFAIR, and the only reason why I cannot is because I've been precluded by MAYFAIR, who is requiring removal based on harassment. So what you have basically are third parties that are pointing at each other and stating, oh, it's because of them, oh no, it's because of this, it's because of that. We're just gathering details because this is relevant for future purposes. These are all third parties. This is the same system that is in operation, ceaseless operation. It does not change P.O.C. that is ceaselessly underway. Let's be clear, the fake sun is outside. All of this that is occurring is audible activity. Monitoring is occurring on a ceaseless basis here at MAYFAIR while I'm on the phone. That is P.O.C., period. The planes are amplifying over this third-party venue as I speak. So all of this is P.O.C. P.O.C. ceaselessly underway the entire time that I've been here. The system never stops targeting me, and these are lies to remove me from a third-party venue where I have engaged in substantial documentation of criminal conduct of monitoring and stalking, invasion of privacy, which is the only way that the third parties are able to engage in mirroring my movements with activity, which is monitoring conduct in concert with the state of California. You have conflicting statements from Cynthia, conflicting statements from Nisha. You can claim it on management. That would have been a call after 1 o'clock in the morning for no basis whatsoever. Using my phone is not harassment. Knocking on the wall after they hit the wall and are blasting their music at 4 o'clock in the morning after the office does not address it because they continued that disruptive conduct, which is conduct that is occurring every single day. That is not harassment. You were talking in reality about documentation of third parties engaged in a criminal system. This is third-party conduct, classic third-party conduct. You've got Bill and Wags, October 7th, 2019, calling the police, lying that I was using drugs inside of my car when I was exercising my statutory right to examine my vehicle and my contents inside, calling the police, lying about what I was doing. That is third-party conduct, okay? That is that which they engage in. They lie to each other. This is the system that is ceaselessly in operation. You've got Tracy Banks, again, removal from the apartment where I engaged in documenting the same system underway at a private residence, lying about the reason why police were engaged in stalking conduct, arriving at the apartment, having no legal cause whatsoever, no breaking of the law, nothing whatsoever. I can eat my strawberries at the corner of the sidewalk, in front of the security camera all day. I can dance and sing in front of the security camera. The security camera should not be an issue. The reason why it's an issue is because it's documentation, and that is P.O.C. as well, while the fake sun is over that venue, while the state engaged in stalking by helicopters, airplanes, and police documented presence engaging in what is harassment, what is concerted conduct with third parties. This is an ongoing pattern, and that is defamation. That is in the ongoing use of threats. These are third parties that are acting in concert with the state and also lying on each other, with each other, about my removal from this third-party venue where P.O.C. is ceaselessly underway. And so this is just my punctuating my point, being thorough and showing third-party conduct. They are liars, and it is that which is still defamation. She can try to minimize it all she wants. She, as in Nisha, all she wants, she repeated it to a third party. And even if Nisha is lying, because these are third parties who are lying, but they represent it as such, and so we will go on that, because based on what you can prosecute in court, you based on what are objective facts, and the objective fact is that Cynthia said that Nisha told her that I engaged in harassment. Which is also original defamation, starting with the third parties in 229. Those that I captured on video and tweeted about, those were engaged in P.O.C. that I tweeted about in real time. This is P.O.C. and these are the ways in which the system engages in that other legal aspect. This is the harassment form. This is under that umbrella of third-party conduct while they are engaged in criminally targeting an American citizen. And so this is relevant to that which legislation has yet to address. There is a whole umbrella of under this harassment aspect where you are essentially violating the targeted individual and then seeking to blame and further harass that targeted individual when you're the one that is breaking the law. This is the irony of and the extreme criminality and a despicable aspect and the malice that speaks to malice as well of this system. It is August 13, 2020. It's 1:04 p.m. and that is third-party venue MAYFAIR. That is Cynthia, a quote-unquote program administrator, paying for the voucher here, claiming to be sincere. All those are words. What it is audible activity, engaged in P.O.C. while I'm here, subjecting me, placing me here. That is not a coincidence that I'm here. It is all P.O.C. Okay, we're really just paying attention to detail, hearing the conflicting statements, hearing the way it defies common sense. You're talking about statements made prior to today. You're talking about statements made last night. You're talking about statements made today. And you can logically see how they are inconsistent with one another. And that is just the common sense aspect of breaking down third-party conduct. They're liars. And they are third parties acting with the state. And this is just attempt to remove me from where I am engaged in substantial documentation of criminal conduct at MAYFAIR Inn at 1120 East Holt Boulevard in Ontario, California. It's 1:05 p.m. and that's P.O.C. That's a plane at very low elevation, flying west directly over Euclid and Holt. Third party walks past me. Flying over T-Mobile, Bally's, Verizon storefronts at low elevation. That's called activity. That's what they were doing with the sirens. And this is traffic. This is just light activity as they patrol. So that's being surrounded in relevant position above and all around. That's P.O.C. It's 9:37 p.m. The planes are continuously amplified right over here as I sit at the bus stop. So they're flying over this abandoned building right here next to me. I'm at the corner of Holt and Euclid, sitting in front of that storefront. You've got the blinking planes and you have the airplanes that are flying over the storefronts and then turning in order to fly in relevant position to me. It's flying diagonally northwest. And that is after flying directly next to me. That is that passive-aggressive stalking conduct, as though it's not targeting me. It is flying directly next to me. It is still in relevant position. They engage in that systematically, in addition to flying directly over me as well. It's P.O.C. While third parties on foot and third parties in their vehicle. That's called patrolling. Sitting at the traffic light, they're engaged in invasion of privacy, listening. Lights on the vehicles is light activity. As they drive, that's light activity. As they use their turn signals, that is light activity. This is in concert with the sirens that were sounding at every direction. That is north, south, east, and west. Traffic cameras at Euclid and Holt show the emergency vehicle that passed me as I began writing that P.O.C. down at that specific time. That was P.O.C. sounding the sirens right at the intersection and stopping the sirens as they pass me at the intersection. Not an emergency. That is monitoring conduct within the state's P.O.C. I remained at bus stop 7911. That's the 8683 route where Omnitrans engaged in P.O.C. That's what I documented, driven by the black woman with braids, engaged in creating light activity, audible activity in concert with the state, controlling the traffic lights, flying over this intersection in airplanes, flying directly over and using the sirens to monitor. That's P.O.C. I also documented the license plates of third parties, specific third parties that are in close quarters, but you were talking about group stalking. They are all engaged in the same conduct. These are third parties that come in close quarters for the purpose of monitoring. It's 9:39 p.m. That is another plane flying at the same location. Traffic at a halt at the intersection. This is light activity. This is monitoring. Another plane at low elevation. Flying parallel to Holt Boulevard, directly over the T-Mobile store. It's at the corner. And this is the second one within 5 minutes. This is a loud vehicle. That's audible activity. 7RCJ 167. This is traffic. State controls the traffic. They're just patrolling by. P.O.C. That is state and third-party conduct. That is the gist of the P.O.C. While outside and able to document the state system and its operation, where you are not aware, not able to see, and typically the target individual has no idea that they are subject to such systematic monitoring. But this is what they are doing in all manners, using trains, using police, fire, and ambulance, using third parties engaged in using their vehicles in traffic, third parties using whatever noise they can make on foot. And that is the systematic surrounding by light activity, by audible activity, and by their presence with communication devices. That's monitoring. It is 9:42 p.m. Note the closeness in time. This is systematic, repeated conduct. This is already proven. I'm just connecting dots. This is P.O.C. at HOLT and Euclid, and traffic cameras where I am located at Euclid and HOLT as well. That's P.O.C. And again, you have that plane that flew directly over T-Mobile, making a turn, remaining in relevant position, crossing path with me in the sky. That's relevant position. After it flies directly next to me, then it crosses path flying in front of me where I see them. And that is relevant position above me, and third parties surround, and the state surrounds. This is why they sound their sirens right next to me. Amplification of sound is how they sound their sirens in all directions around me. It's 9:42 p.m. P.O.C. That's a third plane. And again, when you hear them, they're just creating audible activity. It is P.O.C. for stalking, because that's the state that's flying around following me everywhere in planes and helicopters, but they are creating audible activity. That is the state's version of noise. Noise is monitoring. That's exactly what I was documenting at MAYFAIR in. What I've been documenting for 2 years now, but that's specifically what it is. It's just noise. State has its form of noise. That is sirens. That is amplified train. That is amplified third-party activity. That is the sound of the helicopters. That's what that is. 9:43 p.m. 9:44. That's another plane. Third-party traffic driving west on HOLT and turning north onto Euclid. That's P.O.C. A third low elevation airplane directly over T-Mobile, right? This is their targeted location because it's where I am. Directly over T-Mobile storefront, Bally's, Verizon, that little storefront, they're flying directly over that. You've got minute by minute by minute. The significance of this is I turn my phone on because this is what they are monitoring. Seeking to still, interrupt, capture, monitor electronic information and a communication device, using communication devices to do so. And the result is this, what I'm capturing is the ongoing presence. You've got 9:38, 9:42, 9:43, and 9:44. They immediately begin flying one after another consecutively directly next to me. That is P.O.C. and that's why I turn my phone on to demonstrate. This is just another example of the same thing that occurs on a ceaseless basis, already captured in video, pictures, in writing, multiple forms of documentation of that same conduct. Right? And so that's what they're doing, and that's why I turn on my phone. This is just an example of that documentation. And their location of flight, targeted. Their targeted activity, that the location where they are heard, that is targeted. The location where they are currently flying over next to me, that is targeted. As I walk from MAYFAIR, flying over there. As I walk east on HOLT, flying over there. As I walk down HOLT Boulevard to any other location. As I walk north and south to any location, as I've also documented on Euclid, flying in every manner of direction. That's P.O.C. It's 9:46 p.m. All noise is monitoring. So this is a state engaged in group conduct. These are group stalkers engaged in stalking for the purpose of a criminal monitoring system. And this is what you will capture when you are out with the roaches engaged in that system. It's 9:46 p.m. That's P.O.C. That is the amplified sound of a scooter, while you have a third party that stops next to me at the bus stop at 7911. That's creating light activity. The scooter amplified in sound, and it is way down on Euclid. It's still amplified. This is that group conduct to monitor. That's third party conduct that the state amplifies. This is that group conduct. You had a Civic, that would have been seen on the traffic cameras, by the way, that is sitting at the bus stop. And I'm looking at another state vehicle engaged in the same group conduct of stalking, AMR, very heavily documented. That is AMR vehicle number 06542, license 10031 SAM2. And that's P.O.C. the same conduct over and over again, crossing path like every other third party. This is group stalking, group monitoring, and that was the significance of the loud scooter. It was literally accelerating, like pressing its motor, going louder as I press buttons on my phone. Very sensitive to any movement that I make. That's the significance of the noise, because that's what that is. As the third party stops at the bus stop, that's the second third party stopping at the bus stop. They're not buses. Clearly just stopping to engage in monitoring. That's noise and light combined in close quarters, as all of the rest of them merely patrol. That's what AMR was doing. That's P.O.C. At the same time, you have the fire truck that also crossed path, driving east on Holt Boulevard, while AMR driving east then turns north directly past me. That's the state surrounding, just as I captured walking east on Holt Boulevard with OPD and AMR driving past me in both directions. That is the same conduct. That's the state engaged in that group stalking, group monitoring conduct in concert with all third parties. It's 9:50 p.m. and that's P.O.C. August 13th, 2020. License 4PBD763. Omnitrans, license 1545683. 8KTV911. 8EBM484. 5THJ561. AU98136, that's a paper plate. 1302442. And that is Omnitrans. 8JBL216. 1370396. 8BD1466. All right, and that's documentation noted as of August 13, 2020.